So today, out in the cold, we decided to have a look at this very tasty car, the Audi TT Black Edition. Diesel version this, 2 litre and a 170 brake horsepower. Comes with the S-Line package.
The styling's different, it's a lot more sleek than the original TT line was, and a lot more stylish as well. From the front bumpers and the front grille, right the way through to the rear light clusters.
It's basically evolved, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's really evolved from what the first TT was, the first generation. We decided to take it up on the moors for the drive. The car performed brilliantly. We didn't. No, we didn't. As you'll see in the shots, it's a lovely car. So I hope you enjoy this, and I hope it persuades you to actually buy a TT. It certainly has me. Managed to get one now, haven't we? Not a totally brand new one, but
No,
one that's
13 plates. It's
13 plate. We're not that really far off from new, are we?
No.
We're talking second generation.
Yeah, it's sort of back end of the second generation.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a more smoothed off car by then.
Yes, I noticed that when it turned up straight away. What sort of lines of it, I'd say, better.
Yeah.
I think it's as the TT should be. I'm not how you could compare it with the really brand new model. Maybe that's getting a bit too edgy. I don't know. It's actually better.
But the thing is, this one sat better in the model range than the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one was all round and weird. It was a jelly mould.
I think it was experimenting, wasn't it, at first? And it's evolved nicely, hasn't it, this TT?
It has. I mean, the interior, the whole dash area is a lot better.
This is an absolute brilliant place to be sat. I really love this contrast of, I mean, this is the Black Edition,
yeah.
As the chaps told us, but one thing I do find is, again, brilliant German build quality, but this brushed around the console everywhere, this aluminium type thing, the gear stick, it's just welcoming to grab, is this.
Yeah.
But it's the contrast of all this with the darkness, but then you've got this blood red display. But when it comes to your speedo and everything, what you really need to be clear in that it is with your white and red. And they complement themselves brilliantly.
I like the trip in the middle as well. Just it's vibrant, but it's not glaring.
Yeah, it's perfect for what you need as a driver's car as this TT. I think the name TT's saying it all. I do like how the steering, they've got the flat bottom steering wheel, one thing I'm reminiscent of the ST, and they all seem to be copying this flat bottom steering, which I think is a good idea. Of course, this is the S-Line as well, so it gets a lot of extra touches. As have been pointed out, these lovely seats are a bit extra on this, and they're really comfy and supportive.
They are really good.
You could really sink in these seats.
Quite well sculpted. The whole dash area flows nicely.
Yeah.
And it's the fact that even though you've got all the extras for the airbag and stuff like that on the passenger side, it juts out that little bit more than the driver's side does.
Yeah.
It just flows. It's done well.
It's a very well shaped dash and cabin, because the way it tapers off that way for the passenger then brings everything just that bit forward for the driver, but then sort of sweeps away again, just a bit set back.
Your gripe about the armrest.
You know, I've just spotted this.
Handbrake.
That is a damn good idea. With all the fuss I pointed out about an EcoSport, where the armrest, it was all right having the armrest, but it sort of got in the way of the handbrake and was a poor design for the two. Audi must have thought, well, we can get around that easy. We'll put the armrest on the handbrake. Now, what a damn good idea is that? It is fairly generous in the boot as well. I'm surprised. It's
huge.
It sort of stretches that way, and it's not one that stretches that way, but it's only a way shallow where you could only put.
Deep.
It's fairly deep. So, in fact, I'd say it's more space than the EcoSport in back, because that's just tall and that's it. It doesn't go back. But this Black Edition, I think this will be a 2 litre diesel, is it? It's going to have its own little turbocharger and things like that. And don't get me wrong, for any of them that own an Audi should have get petrol or diesel, you won't go wrong with this diesel one at all. It's quattro. It's a brilliant car. I wouldn't fault it as a diesel. I'd be in two minds which to get. I really would, petrol or diesel.
It depends on your driving and what sort of driving you're doing.
It is, yes. You'd have to put thought of that into it, but just look at the spec you get with this Black Edition with the S-Line.
It's amazing.
It is. It's a very nice car. It's Audi, isn't it? And it's plush. It's a gorgeous place to be.
It is incredibly comfortable.
And it's surprising because it's not what you call a very long car. It's a nice small coupe shaped and that. And again, we know it's based on the underpinnings of the Golf. It's this sort of age one is, but it's a million miles away from it.
It just goes to show with a little bit of tweaking here and there, you can get a completely different car out of certain underpinnings. I mean, this would put a Golf GTI to shame.
Yes, it would. And I know someone who's got a Golf GTI and he had a GTD. And I'm a bit that way with Golfs. They all seem very samey and very boring. They seem to be heading that way, but I'm sure give me one of these any day. And it's a much nicer place to be, much nicer drive and everything.
I've been in these as well, in terms of the drive, you know, in terms of the actual quality of the ride, is pretty smooth for a car of this type.
Yeah.
You will feel the jolts in the road. There's no doubt about it.
Cars of this nature you would, wouldn't you? Yeah.
But it does its best to smooth them out well without compromising the ride.
You've got a good driving position as well. To say it's a low down car, you don't really feel it, do you? I feel like I'm in just a normal sized car.
I've got
Bags of headroom.
Yeah, I've got a little bit more than you.
Yeah.
I'm shorter.
Yeah, well, yeah. But I do feel that I'd have to really push myself up before my head would be touching here, so that's good.
You're not going to hit a big bump and bounce. And
no, you're certainly not. No. So, given the choice, put money aside, given the choice of them, I think I'd be running around in one of these. Easy. Audi, I think, yeah, before Golfs and, let's say, most VWs at the moment, I'd sooner be in an Audi, and especially the TT. Because they are brilliant cars at Audis, and this just shows it.
I mean, when the TT first came out, they were a different shape, they were more rounded. And
That's it.
You did have to ask, why did it exist? Because it didn't suit anything else in the Audi lineup at the time.
No.
And now it does. It fits nicely.
It does. Put it this way, with this car, I wouldn't want suddenly to hear from Audi that they're announcing that they're doing away with the TT, because I think that'd be an error.
Yeah. Now I think it is.
Yeah, I think this car will evolve even more and will continue selling by the bucket load, because you do see a lot of TTs around.
To sum up then, the Audi TT, second generation 13 plate, superb car. 4 years old, it feels like it's 4 weeks old. As I said, it's an evolution from the original TT line. It really, you can't fail with it. You can't go wrong.
If I had the money now, I'd be itching for one of these, I would. Well, I was on the verge of giving this 100%, and then I'm going to have to get a 99.9% because I spotted one thing.
It does sound good.
It doesn't come with the start-stop button. I found a key in the ignition.
But the thing is though, if you actually look at that, especially with the reload on strap that's going on now.
Yes, you mentioned this, didn't you?
You're actually safer with a key than you are with the contactless start-stop button.
Do you know, that's a very good point, and I think if I had a car like this sat on my drive, and you've mentioned that now, I would feel safer that way, so I'm going to give it 100% now.
You've got an EcoSport.
I have, and that's on the list. It's on the hit list, is that? So knowing all that information, I think I'm going to give this 100% knowing that, because I'd feel that little bit safer.
Are you going to take that one back and get this one on Motability?
So my next option is I'm going to see if they do one of these on Motability, because I want one of these. I'm so taken with it.